Hi, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Laura Wasson. This is Angela Barrow of Cheeky. We're very excited to have her here. If you have a question for Angela, you can tweet us right now at Closetista TV. I have my computer conveniently off screen, and we'll be checking throughout the broadcast to see if anybody has any questions for Angela. But in the meantime, we have lots to talk about of her beautiful collection. First, I want to ask where the name Cheeky came from.
It's several things. When I was a kid, I was always kind of bratty, and so my grandmother was always like, "You're very cheeky," you know.
Oh.
And several people kind of called me that, referred to me that as being kind of cheeky. And then when I was in college, I had girlfriends who were like, "What are we going to call your line?" Da, 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 da. And so they're like, "Cheeky, you are kind of cheeky." It's like brash and bold with a mix of all those things, and so that's where it kind of came from.
I like it, and I think that definitely plays into your pieces because you use so many interesting and bright and cool fabrics.
Yeah.
The first piece I'm going to talk about is the naughty ring, which is so cute. It's $13.50. It's teeny tiny, and you can literally just slip it on your finger. It's a really cute way to wear a pop of color if you don't. I mean, New Yorkers are obviously notorious for wearing too much black, and this is a good way to wear something that is just a teeny tiny bit of color without going whole hog. So where did the idea for the ring come from, and how did you get going about that?
The rings were actually, it's funny, the rings were just like a leftover fabric that I had. Like whenever I prepare my fabrics, everything, I always try and save the excess so it's not just thrown away. And sometimes, like with these rings, it's like 3 inches. You're like, what am I going to do with 3 inches of
nothing
stuff, you know? And so I have all this stuff organized, like in my bags, like in my house, and it just turned into a ring. It's kind of like a genius, like earring, bracelet. Like sometimes the bracelets. That's how I came with the bracelets. Same thing. If you have a 6 to 8 inch kind of piece of fabric left, you just turn it into a bracelet, and then I just turn it into a ring, and then same kind of thing. Like, what am I going to do with this ring? Like, can I make a knot? Can I make multiple knots? Can I make braids? So it's kind of the same kind of idea and just turned into rings.
Well, it's so smart because obviously you do work with a lot of fabrics, so there are going to be remnants that maybe you can't do anything with. And it's great that you are doing something with that. Is sustainability something that you're always thinking of and looking to?
Oh, always, I mean, I'm a vegetarian. I've been vegetarian for like 17 years now, something like that. It's crazy, 16, 17 years. And so it's very much like at the forefront of like what I do and like what I'm about. And so I like to kind of keep it as green as possible. And a lot of the fabrics that I use are vintage. Like these ones, for example, I got this one I call Anasazi. I got this in Spokane, Washington, like with my mom, like thrifting, like a thrift store. You know,
so cool.
And it was like $5 for like a 2-yard kind of assortment or whatever of like a bunch of like granny quilts and things. So I got some of those, and this is also from I think Spokane or Sequim, Washington, when I went with my mom.
That's so cool.
And then these ones are like from Barbados that I got with my dad when we were looking at fabric stores like last March, I want to say, And so a lot of it, it's just I try and like recycle like little bits, and then I'll use fabrics from like past collections as well, and just like kind of if I have a lot of it left, which I usually do most of the times at the end of the season, so I kind of just bring it out, like push it out again, you know. 'Cause I love all of these fabrics, and they're always
so pretty.
They're timeless, like, you know what I mean, like plaids and animal prints and like solids. I mean, they're great.
No, and it's wonderful that you are reusing them, and it's really great that you find them in so many different places. It's not like you're just going to a garment center in New York or in Boring, get the same fabrics all the time, but you find these in your travels, which I think is really nice.
I do a lot of the traveling, and so it's like have to just. It's my house. I actually just only give myself 1 box of fabrics. Like you only get 1 box of fabric. If you're not going to turn it into a necklace, or you're not going to make something out of it, like it has to. You can't buy it. You know? So I used to collect. When I was in college, I studied fashion design, and so I had tons of clothing. I have a dress form. I have all this stuff, like dressmaking things, and it's just like, like
too much.
Kept moving. Living in New York, you just keep moving, and it was just boxes of fabric. And I was like, this is ridiculous. So it's time to just like have my 1.5 boxes of fabric, and then I just have all of my bolts of the cheeky fabric. So it's like it's
organized.
In my studio, like if we were filming in my studio, it's so funny. It's just like everywhere, like fabric
walls,
fabrics.
Nice. Well, I do want to point out the friendship bracelet, which is so cute. Friendship bracelets have been really popular in fashion, kind of all of a sudden. You think of them, it seems like so childhood camp kind of situation, but they're so cute and very nostalgic, which I think is really great. These are only $40, and the fabric, again, is vintage and found all over the country and the world, which is so special. I do have to ask, why friendship and not friendship?
Well, some of the fabrics, when I first made this, I was in Sequim, Washington for this lavender festival in July with my mom and my aunties, and it's a bunch of really cute, really older women who make lavender products and whatnot. And so we started talking about these little friendship bracelets, and I had this one that I'd made like this in this Anasazi print, and it's vintage fabric. I found this fabric, and it was just like friendship, like bracelet. And it was like the town is called Sequim, so it was like Sequim friendship bracelet.
Oh my god. I've never heard of Sequim.
It's crazy. It's a weird little hippie town in the middle of Washington State.
Oh man. But clearly they have great fabric.
They have great fabric.
Randomly. You never know. I guess you never know when you're going to find this stuff. You just come up from wherever, which is kind of great.
Yeah.
The next piece I want to talk about is, of course, the classic bolo tie, which I really just love. It's so cute. It's only $45, and it has the little gold slider and the little gold bullets. So just super chic. It's kind of a nice way to do menswear without doing like a real tie or a bow tie or something, which can kind of seem heavy. Do you wear bolo ties yourself?
I do. I wear them a lot. I almost wore one today, and then I kind of switched to my simple, like, tubular kind of necklace. But I have guy friends who wear these. You know, it's like gay, straight, young, old. Like everybody
likes them.
Wears them. That's the cool thing about like a lot of my jewelry. It's pretty unisex, and so it's age appropriate. Like I have friends whose moms, grandmas wear this stuff. You know, like little kids. I even make like little jewelry, like smaller jewelry for like this necklace, the tubular necklace for like little kids. It's hilarious. Like they love it.
They're really chic children.
It's like, but animal printed. Like I have so many friends who have babies now, and I just give them these like animal printed necklaces or African printed necklaces.
It's like very stylish children. They're gonna show up in Vogue Bambino in a few months.
Gosh.
So you do actually do a lot of interesting things. You're not just a designer. You do stylist work. You are also a musician, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Tell us about all the different things that you do, because it's really interesting.
Gosh, I do a lot. I play drums in this band Open Ocean. They've been around for 2 years, and I joined during Fashion Week last year, and so it was kind of stressful to learn a bunch of all the songs, you know. And then we played a show like in March, and so we've kind of just since then like been doing really well. And
That's wonderful.
Yeah, we have 2 shows coming up next week, and so it's a lot of like that. And then I also play drums with this other band, Cheek.ie, and it's like a 12 to 20-piece female drum, like percussion band. So it's amazing. It's like a magical experience, like that band as well. And so then I do that, and I do styling as well for like a bunch of private clients and things. Some celebrities, a lot of bands actually. I do a lot of like styling for musicians.
That's so cool.
It's really funny. Like I randomly get assigned to style like guys, and it's usually just t-shirts, and I'm like, this is not my specialty.
So exciting.
They're like, do you want to style this metal band? I'm like, okay, like fine, it's just t-shirts, you know, or just their own clothing. Yeah, it's black, and then like, okay.
That's funny.
It's really strange. I'm like, okay, great, like, thanks.
No, I think it's really cool that you do so many different things. Do you find that kind of feeding into your design, or does it kind of contribute to
definitely. I mean,
what
I think,
you're going for?
Like, first and foremost, like, I'm a hustler. Like, my parents are like hustlers, you know? So I'm kind of just like, like, you just kind
on the go.
On the go, and you just have to figure out, like, what is going to work. And I'm just always, like, spread in so many different directions between, like, jewelry, like, fashion, styling, like, production, like, all these different things. And I love doing all of them equally, but I know one day I'm going to have to choose what I want to be when I grow up.
Well, not right now.
Not now.
Now you
like
can
right
be
now,
everything you want to be, which is awesome. And I do, of course, we have to say, this is named for Frances, and she is a bandmate, correct? Yeah, which is super cool. The Frances necklace is just so pretty. It's this nice little pop of fabric on a beautiful gold chain. It has a really nice hook closure. It's $80, and it's so cute. So tell us, how did this become Frances?
We were actually on our way to a show in Philadelphia during that hurricane, blasted hurricane, and I was doing my line cheek. I had like 2 or 3 store appointments to visit stores in Philadelphia, and the hurricane came and canceled all of my store appointments.
Of course.
And so I was like, what am I going to, I was like, I don't know what to call this necklace. And she's like, I'll take the name, it's my name. So I was like, sold.
Easy.
So it became the Francis necklace.
Oh, I like that.
It's great. It's one of the first times I started doing actually like metal, like incorporating like chain. For years, stores and other, like friends or people were like, oh, you should add metal. And I was like, I'm not ready. I don't want to do this. I just want it to be fabric based.
Right.
It's always been fabric based. But now I'm starting to add, even with the bolo tie, like starting to add like little bits of metal, and like kind of, even with these as well, like trying to slowly incorporate like more bits of metal, so it's not just like a finding like the clasp or something. So
no, I think it complements it well, especially with the pink rust fabric, which I love because it has gold in it, and then you have the beautiful gold chain. It's a really nice compliment. It almost acts like kind of the way like a gemstone would act, giving that color in a really nice way.
It come out a little bit, and it's not so overwhelming. Like especially if you don't want to wear one of the bigger like statement pieces, it's like simple like dainty chain, and if you're just wearing with like a cardigan or like a simple like a strapless dress or even just like a t-shirt, it just like stands out and you have that little pop of color.
Which is so nice.
That's great.
And so this is all spring 2012, correct?
Yeah.
What was your inspiration for the collection, and what were you thinking of when you designed it?
Oh, man, I made this on the fly. So fast.
Isn't that always how it is?
It's so funny. Like I just have like a little sketchbook, and I just like, get an idea, and I just like draw something out, or just like, oh, this will be amazing, like this fabrication, I have to find this in like my little like sketchbook. And so a lot of these are just ideas that I've had for the longest time, and so I just kind of funnel. It just gets funneled. Like, okay, this season I need to make this many pieces, and I'm kind of just going to edit it. But all my stuff is always inspired by like vintage. I love vintage, everything vintage. So I love those old kind of braided bracelets that you always find for like $5 in the thrift stores. You know, like a lot of that stuff like kind of comes from those. And every time I thrift, I always find those, and I'm like, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna recreate this like in my own
version.
Yeah, like in my own kind of way, and like a cheeky kind of way. So a lot of that, and then just, I love ethnic prints, like I said, like animal kind of prints and things, and so just ways to just kind of update what I've done, because otherwise you just keep doing the same thing,
right?
And, but which isn't necessarily bad to like have a classics kind of collection, because people do love. They're like, why don't you bring this back? And what's going on? And da 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 da. And so we like this necklace and bracelet. Where is it?
Where is it?
I'm like, oh, God, like my line sheet would be 80 pages, like if I kept doing that,
I know.
So it's like, oh,
you have to consolidate somewhere.
You have to consolidate, and then I can still, stores, whenever they order things, they order whatever they want anyway, and so
like, you just have to kind of be as easy as possible. There's really nothing else you can do. The last piece I do want to talk about is the Jana necklace, which is so cute. It's $90, and these are actually washers, which is super cool, that are braided in with the different fabrics. Where did this come from? Is Jana a lady you know?
Jana is also a lady friend of mine.
Very nice.
She's amazing. I've known her for years, and these are just like a simple like updated necklace. It's like some of these necklaces I just happen to like be thinking of that friend, or I'll just like I'll be talking to her, or just maybe not even like, some of them don't even know. I just like, oh, I have a necklace after you, or a fabric after you. They're like, oh, thanks. Just cute friends of mine who love my stuff, and like have always like supported me. And Shauna's one of my friends who helped me when I first started my jewelry line, helped me do my website, and so she helped me.
She did a great job. You have a nice website.
Well, I do the website myself, but she helped me like do like the placement of like certain things, and just like the kind of art direction, like general like art direction of it and stuff. But so yeah, it's like, again, like with the metal, like the technique, kind of just like updating it in a way. So instead of it just being a fabric necklace with a bunch of knots, which is what I probably would have done like a couple seasons ago when I first started. It's just like add a little bit of metal, like subtle, keep it kind of clean. Right. And I think it gives it like a nice, like finish. And the black one is actually one of my favorite ones.
It's so pretty.
It's like really striking, like the black one.
Right. It's very chic, and it reminds you of just one of those really big, chunky gold chains, but it has something a little different with the fabric. It gives it a little zhuzh. It's a little more fun, I guess. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. We really enjoyed learning about all the wonderful fabrics, and this collection is available right now on Closetista. You can shop right now. We really hope you do, and we'll see you next time.